A few weeks ago, I shared some breakfast ideas that could all be whipped up in a muffin tin, and you seemed to really enjoy them. So today, I am back with 3 new muffin tin meal ideas that are all perfect for dinner. The best part about these is that they are pre-portioned and super freezer friendly. So you can make a big batch and then all you have to do is reheat them on those busy nights where you just don't feel like cooking. Today, I'm going to show you my cheesy lasagna bites, some yummy chicken taco cups, and finally, some fantastic mini meatloaves that your family is sure to love. So let's get started with our cheesy lasagna bites. The first step in this recipe is creating a really simple pasta sauce. So in a frying pan, I've got some olive oil heating up, and to that I'm going to add 2 cloves of minced garlic. Once my garlic becomes fragrant, I'm going to add my spinach. I'm going to cook my spinach until it's wilted. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes for this to happen. And then I'm going to add my tomato sauce. Now, I am cheating with the jarred kind in this recipe, but you could totally use homemade tomato sauce if you felt so inclined. That would be even better. Now, I'm just gonna flavor this with some Italian seasoning and some red chili flakes, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to simmer this for 5 minutes until all of the flavors come together. While my sauce is cooling, I'm going to get started on my cheese mixture. So I'm starting with some fresh ricotta in a bowl, and to that I'm going to add some shredded mozzarella and a heaping helping of shredded parmesan. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to this and give it a good stir, and this filling is ready. Now I'm going to prepare my muffin tins. Instead of lasagna noodles in this recipe, I am actually using wonton wrappers. If you try to use lasagna noodles, I promise you, you will regret it. They don't fit properly and they all fall apart in the end. Trust me on this one, I've tried it. So I've sprayed my muffin tin really well with some cooking spray, and I'm going to line each cup with 2 wonton wrappers. To that, I'm going to add a scoop of my cheese filling and then a scoop of my tomato sauce. I'm going to top this with another wonton wrapper and layer it once again. Finally, I'm going to top each of these with some shredded mozzarella and a little bit of parmesan. I'm going to finish each of these little lasagnas off with just a sprinkle of dried parsley, and then into the oven they go at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Next up, we have our amazing chicken taco cups. These start in very much the same way. So I've just sprayed my muffin tin with a little bit of cooking spray and then lined each of the muffin cups with 2 wonton wrappers. I'm gonna set this aside and get started on my filling. In a large mixing bowl, I am combining some leftover rice, some canned black beans with some leftover cooked chicken that I've just given a really good chop to, and some salsa. I'm going to season this with a little bit of chili powder, some garlic powder, and some ground cumin. And then I'm going to finish it off with some hot sauce. Hot sauce, of course, is optional. I'm going to mix this all together until it's well combined, and then I'm going to scoop this filling into each muffin cup. I'm going to top it with a little more salsa and finish it off with some cheddar cheese. Into the oven it goes at 350 degrees for between 15 and 20 minutes. I love them best when they're topped with a little bit of sour cream and finished off with some chopped chives. It is absolutely irresistible. Finally, I'm excited to share my recipe for these adorable mini meatloaves. Now, I'm doing this with ground beef. You can absolutely do this with ground chicken or ground turkey. So I've got some extra lean ground beef standing by in a bowl, and to this, I'm going to add a whole lot of flavor. I'm going to be using some minced red onion, some minced celery, and some minced red pepper. Now, if you're not confident with your knife skills, don't worry. Just throw all of your ingredients into your food processor and let it do the work. What you want is a really fine texture in your final meatloaves. To that, I'm going to add some steak seasoning and some Worcestershire sauce. If you're not familiar with Worcestershire sauce, it adds a really meaty flavor to whatever you add it to. It's totally delicious. I'm going to top that all off with an egg and some breadcrumbs. Now, if you don't want to use gluten in this recipe, you can replace the breadcrumbs with some oats or some quinoa flakes. Both of those will work. I'm going to finish this off with a good heaping helping of barbecue sauce, and then it's time to get our hands dirty. You could do this with a fork or a potato masher, but I find the most effective tool in the kitchen are really these. We're gonna mix this together until it's well combined, and then we're going to create these little balls of mini meatloaf goodness and place them in each of our muffin cups. We're gonna bake these beauties at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 30 minutes, or until they reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees. Once they're ready, we're gonna take them out of the oven, brush the tops with some barbecue sauce, and then pop them back into the oven for an additional 5 minutes. Once they're done, they are ready to eat just as is, but I like to take them way over the top with a little bit of whipped mashed potato and some chopped chives. I hope you'll give these 3 incredible recipes a try, and if you do, be sure to tweet or Instagram me a photo because you know I love seeing what you're coming up with in your very own kitchens. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to The Domestic Geek because there is a lot more deliciousness where this came from.